Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the multidisciplinary artist known as Mandyland. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the symbolism and context of the gargoyle. We're also going to explore the integration of the shadow within the self and culture as a whole. So let's just jump right into it. So at first sight, remember this lone demon perched upon the corner of a building here. It is no doubt a wondrous introduction. We just wonder why this subject is, maybe who or what they are. What exactly is going on here? You notice the placement of space is pretty interesting, right? Our lone subject sits in the upper region of the composition. Those wings certainly fill up a lot of the work, so it kind of points to the sheer status and size of this lone demon here. You may also notice how the colors within this composition, they largely consist of this light red, this pinkish, but also the gray as well from our building. This, no doubt, it feels quite uniform, pretty close to one another, which further elevates the impact of things like form and symbolism within this striking scene. You may also notice the impact of texture here. We see this everywhere, from this lone building to our lone subject's scaly skin to this large, massive wings on either side. This, of course, immerses us so well within this work, provides a true element of realism to this composition. I wanted to ask you guys, how do you all feel when you first see this work, or what comes to mind when you first look at this composition? Of course, our lone subject is a monster, a demon of some kind or another. This, of course, points to these sharp teeth, those massive warped ears, those glowing red eyes, that scaly skin, and even the tattered wings as well, all of which point to the monstrous nature of our lone subject. This reminds me most of the gargoyle, and the gargoyle is an incredibly important symbol. Most people overlook it, right? Or rather overlook it. It is a strange symbol, no doubt. Why would we put a demon on top of a building? When you look at its historical and cultural context, it makes a ton of more sense. The gargoyle is a demon which is placed on the top of a building. It points to a sense of the integration of the dark within society and culture. It is said that the demon was defeated and then placed atop a building as a warning to ward off evil spirits. So that points to the shadow or the darker elements of culture, which is then integrated more as a warning to different things, right? If you can take different elements such as fighting, action, and violence and use them in the pursuit of good, then you can fight demons wherever they are. So when you look at a gargoyle, of course, it is rather shocking and scary, but just remember that is the integration of the darker spirits of light within the greater elements of culture as a whole, especially in the pursuit and fighting of evil. But within this work, we see the ornate nature of the building, right? That points to the status of the culture when it creates it. If you can create something like this, it truly points to the advancement of technology and civilization as a whole. But regardless, like I said, the shadow is incredibly important. It's your capacity for evil, especially in the context of Carl Jung's studies. When you integrate that, when your ability to use violence against evil, that is just so important. So we see the spirit captured and conveyed within this composition with absolute ease. It serves as a warning to all, and it says that, if those dark, dangerous, or demonic spirits come into being, there will be no fear in fighting them. The title of this work as The Sovereign is even more important. The Sovereign is something which watches or guards over, so we see this within this work. The lone demon is looking over, perhaps over a city or a village or building of some kind or another, but regardless, the Sovereign is just such an appropriate title within this work. And really let this be a warning to all those demonic, dark, and dangerous spirits. There will be no fear in fighting you. But regardless, this is a stunning and very symbolic composition. I think there's no doubt about that. The original work was created in an AI Generative art program that is going to be Niju Journey. That is a collaboration between Midjourney and I think Spellbound, if I have that correct. But regardless, this is a work of AI Generative art. The original artist typically takes these and then uses additional mediums such as digital paint to create even more complex and unique compositions. So absolutely love to study her work. If y'all enjoyed today, make sure to check out the original artist Mandyland doing some amazing stuff in multiple different mediums, primarily that of AI Generative art. But like I said, this is a very highly symbolic scene. There is no doubt about that. We talked about so many different things, from the ornate nature of this scene, the sense of texture within this work, this dark and demonic spirit, the nature of it as, say, the gargoyle, which watches over and guards just like the Sentinel. So many different things we talked about today. I really hope you'll enjoy it. Always remember, the integration of the shadow is incredibly important in the context of culture and the individual and society as a whole. But regardless, like I said, really hope you'll enjoy today. If y'all enjoyed, go check out the original artist Mandyland, once again doing some amazing stuff. My name's Apollo, this was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.